Hey Jerry, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing, and then we'll go ahead and put you back in your dress position and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, your posture looks really good. We can see here that your spine is straight on a slight tilt. Your legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. You hang your arms down off your tilted spine and the club works out to the ball. So really good posture in association with good balance. Next thing we want to observe has to do with your alignment. We can see your feet aiming in this direction here. Carry your feet out towards the target, and theoretically your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet, and parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging. So with that in mind, we are pretty much set up right down the center of the fairway, so that looks fantastic as well. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Jordan Spieth. Now we'll flip them over to left-handed to mirror image you, so we can see a very similar setup characteristics. Now we've got some color-coded lines on the screen here just to use as visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. We can see here as Jordan initiates his takeaway, creates good shoulder rotation, which brings his arms and hands back as well as the club. And the club comes back directly on plane along this red line. Through this point of the golf swing, we got good wrist hinge into play, working the club head from below to above our hands, and then working the club from red up towards yellow or blue. Now in Jordan's case, he gets his right arm in the club situated on the blue line at the top of the backswing. But if we had slightly shallower swing, then the right arm would be down on the yellow line, and either one of those are completely okay. The other thing we see is we see complete shoulder rotation. We do all this about a very stable left leg. Now with you, as you initiate your takeaway, you do initiate your takeaway quite a bit with your hands there, and then your shoulders kick in. We do see the club moving underneath the swing plane, just means the club is moved to the right of the red line. You start to get some wrist hinge into place, so the club recovers pretty decently through here. We do see that your left arm folds considerably and stays against your rib cage, causing your right arm to break down. So we do get a lot of compression of our arms to our core, where the arms are folding in towards our body. Club shaft starts to steepen out a lot, and when we finally set the club at the top, you do get a lot of wrist hinge, but the arms do stay very congested to your body. So one of the things you might want to learn to do is learn how to create better better arm extension as we make that backswing. From here, when we get to the top, again, we can still look at that very compressed arm position. We do have very good shoulder rotation, stable left side. Everything looks really good, other than the fact that the arms are just too compressed against your core. And then the club geometry gets a little bit out of position at the top too, where it's pointing way out to the left. It's across the line and obviously out of position. As we create our transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our left foot to our right, fire the knees and the hips to the target, unwind the core, and fire the hands. And in doing so, we got to make sure that we're bringing the golf club from that blue-yellow V zone back onto red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we see here with Jordan. The golf club has returned right back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the club. Refer to this as a check mark position. Simply means that the club head is remaining above and behind his hands, therefore he's retaining angle, and this is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone getting the club to return back to plane, as we already pointed out, which is ultimately going to allow us to actually hit the golf ball straight in accordance to our alignment. With your transition back into the ball, your hands move out over the top. You're really fighting to keep the club head back in behind you, but because your hands came over the top, you're going to lose the battle here. So what we can see is here's the relationship between your lead forearm and your golf club. You do have your backwards check mark, same as the left side of the screen, but what we do note is that the club has not returned back to plane. So as we continue to track the club heads coming into the ball, with Jordan, his club comes into the golf ball directly from this red line, so directly from on plane. And again, this is what allows us to hit the ball straight in accordance to where we're aimed. So last thing that needs to happen is the club face just needs to square up via having a good grip. And we know with Jordan, his grip is good as well. So he has good aim, good downswing plane, good grip, and that's why he's consistent. With you, your club's going to fall out in front of you here with your over-the-top move. golf club never returns back to plane, so we just connect the dots. We can see how much more steep your club is coming into the ball, and that downswing plane there is therefore going to affect the swing path. So we can see here with Jordan, the golf club is inside the ball, expands out to make contact, moves through on a nice natural subtle arc. So again, he's going to hit the ball straight in accordance to his aim. Your club's a little bit too much directly behind the ball, then drops down and across, and actually don't really have the frame in between that I want here because I can't really connect another dot for you. So let's just move it right on through, and we can basically just say, hey, club's moving in that direction. So you can see the path is definitely a lot more from out to in. So if we happen to square the club face up to that swing path, what will happen is we will obviously pull the golf ball in this direction. If we over-release it, not only will we pull it, but we could pull draw it or pull hook it, and definitely hit the ball way too far right. If we leave the club face a little bit open, then the ball has the ability to sort of fade back online towards its intended target. And if we under-release the club, then what ends up happening is we're going to be hitting some form of a pull fade or pull slice or block fade, block slice. So the end result of your golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face. If we over-release it, it follows blue. Under-release it, follows red. And if we time it okay, you'll hit some form of a fade action that will hopefully find the intended target. We also, excuse me, we also see that your right foot is flat on the ground through point of impact, where Jordan's left heel's off the ground, and he continues to move that left heel off the ground, gets up on the toe of his left foot, allows his weight to get to his right side, and allows him to get to a good finishing position. So that's something you'll want to work on. Learn how to create better footwork through your finish, because we can see here as we drive through, you keep your left foot flat on the ground there. So you may find at the end of the round your lower back hurts a little bit. If you learn how to bring that left heel up off the ground, it'll be a lot more efficient, a lot more natural, and will alleviate a lot of pressure on that lower back. Okay? At this point in time, quick little review for you. Let's just actually sort of get that back off the screen and clear these couple of lines. There we go. So overall, some good athletic ability here. I mean, your hands work well, they come back, they fire through. Your core's working well, you coil back, you uncoil through. A little bit better footwork would allow you to get through to a better finishing position. So again, let that left heel come off the ground up on the toe of that foot as we're driving through, and that will aesthetically make your finish look a lot better, and again alleviate some pressure off your lower back. Biggest thing for you is really just making sure we learn how to bring the golf club down on plane and not this over the top move and attacking it from out to in. Looks like in this particular swing you actually got the club face squared up. So because you're swinging the club from out to in and square in the face, you're hitting some form of a pull draw, and that very likely will find the right side of the rough there. Okay? So again, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. If at any point in time you ever want to work on any of these aspects of your golf game, certainly feel free to contact me. All my contact information is on the screen and at the end of this video, and I'd be happy to do that with you. I am over at Glen Abbey in Oakville where the event was held. Also, if you're involved in any golf tournaments at all and you're looking for a unique gift to provide to your guests, certainly feel free to touch base concerning that, and be happy to discuss my swing analysis services with you. Anyways, hope you had a great day, and hope you enjoy the rest of your summer.